Welcome to the Ride. Oh, just you? I apologize. Let me try again. Oh, just you! Are you new to the Ride? Excellent, thank you. That makes all our jobs so much easier. Here are your buzzers for this game. Please allow me to remind you that this is a non-profit fan project in no way associated with Jackbox Games. You are now ready for the Ride. I wish you the very best of luck.
It's time for the show where high culture and pop culture collide. And now, here's your host, the Knight Rider of Needless Knowledge, Conan Blankenberg.
Greetings, hello, guten tag, and welcome to the all-new season premiere of You Don't Know Jack, the Ride. We hope your rewriteless days weren't quite as meaningless and depressing as they realistically should be. Our break's over, so let's not waste any more time and dive right into the new season, just as we're also diving into a new year. And what better way to dive into a new year than with our asses firmly pointing forwards and our faces firmly looking back, as we take inventory of the 12 months that have just passed and recall all our favorite and not-so-favorite moments from good old 2024. Although, as I'm told you'll surely agree, I'm guessing the not-so-favorite moments are gonna squarely win out here. And if that's depressing, then imagine this. These things have just been getting worse and worse and worse year after year. Ain't that a future worth looking forward to? Let's get started before I feel compelled to emergency call my therapist. Well, it sure was one of the years of all time. That's all there really is to say. Let's go. Smash the buzzer when you see the good stuff fly. And here's your category for this next question. Lunar ticks. You know, what a year it's been for the moon. Not one, but 2 lunar landings were accomplished last year. Suppose the moon developed an allergic reaction to all of those tiny doodads crawling around on its skin. Which of these processes would be the least likely to take place? A load of histamines is released across the moon's vessels, prostaglandins cause mucus to develop in the moon's lungs, the moonmen recruit eosinophils to help fight the intruders, or cytochromes transport the moon's immune cells to the landing sites. I spy with my little eye something beginning with no. This one would have been a good idea. Cytochromes are primarily a metabolic agent and don't play a major role during allergic reactions. And really, it's no wonder the moon has an allergy problem with how dusty it is up there. Hit buzzer, select value. Here's what we have to offer. Honey, I shrank our sun. Speaking of the moon, which of these would be the last thing you'd want to experience along with 2024's total solar eclipse over North America? A solar eclair, a solar eclampsia, a solar eclog, or a solar eclogite? Yep, you don't want a solar eclampsia. In fact, you don't want an anything eclampsia. Eclampsia is a serious and life-threatening condition, and let's be honest, if something's gonna eclipse my afternoon, I'd rather it be a pastry than a medical emergency. Okay, gonna need a value? Zoinks! That's a large number. Here's your category. Oh, sole mio! No! Okay, let's take a look at the question then. Which of these would be an example of the Francis Scott Key Bridge being struck by an off-key ship? The USS Symphony No. 5 in C minor striking the bridge, the HMS Cannon in D striking the bridge, the RMS Toccata and Fugue in A-flat major striking the bridge, or the SSV Minuet in G major striking the bridge? Johann Sebastian Bach's Toccata and Fugue is written in D minor, not A-flat major. And you should probably grab your university diploma and move away from underneath the bridge if you don't want to become A-flat major. I've got a question for Pucker up 4. Not like them. We going? We going. Let's do it. If Kendrick Lamar dropped a Decillions track about Drake, what might be one of the lyrics? Your ass is dirtier than the ocean, you stink worse than a crustacean, start shit with me, get cursed, career in shambles, bubble burst, everything I worked for I earned, meanwhile you just getting burned, or that feeling across your ears, it's me bringing your worst fears. Gonna have to dock you for this one. Shall we take a look at the money shot? Decillions is the quality of breaking apart or bursting open, like for instance a bubble, or everyone's collective minds when Kendrick dropped Not Like Us. Whoa! Is that right? Is that how you act? I'm sorry, I've never been big on that particular area of pop culture, if you couldn't tell. Hit your buzzer at the right time and we might play. Hope you have some time to make some time. It's time for When Did Happen? And here's your category. In Year Dumb Face. And here's how When Did Happen is played. We'll put some event on the top screen that took place at some point in time, like the first human being walks on the moon. And then we'll put a bunch of events on the bottom screen that took place at some other point in time, like the RMS Titanic collides with an iceberg and sinks. Your job at this point is to decide whether the lower event took place before or after the top event, or if it never took place at all. Buzz in when the right answer lights up and you win some cash. But buzz in at the wrong time and you lose cash, and of course that's every time you buzz in wrong. And that's basically it. That's When Did Happen in a nutshell. All clear? Good. Now what could a When Did Happen in a floor all around the year 2024 possibly be about? Oh hey, remember when the French did that really funny thing for that big sporting event? That's right. The 2024 Olympics kick off their controversial opening ceremony in Paris. Only in 2024 could the world collectively clutch its marbles over all the terrible, horrible, very bad French and their scandalous culture. You know, some of us had to live as their direct neighbors for years of their lives. Anyway, here's a bunch of other stuff that happened last year. You know what to do. Off you go. Jon Stewart makes his first return appearance on The Daily Show. Did that happen before the Olympics, after the Olympics, or did it never happen at all? The Rizzler appears on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. A massive solar storm makes northern lights visible over more than half the globe. Magnus Carlsen defends his world championship in chess against Ding Liren. John Cena announces his retirement from professional wrestling. Fortnite launches an official Skibbity toilet bundle for 2,900 V-Bucks. Collins Dictionary announces brat as their word of the year. And that's game over for this one. Thankfully, we've got to remove global nuclear annihilation from this question before airing it. Maybe for the 2025 recap episode. And there's your current score. Hope you're proud of it. If not, well, too bad. Let's move on. All right, everybody's waiting on you to pick a value, so thank you. And now introducing... What are icks and why are they limp? Speaking of the Olympics, if the Olympic Committee started producing Olympic rings-themed candy, which of these flavors would least likely be among them? Athletic Apple, Olympic O-Licorice, Grapey Greatness, or Champions Cherry? Grape-flavored candy is most commonly some shade of purple, but there is no purple to be seen among the Olympic rings. Personally, I don't trust any food that's been in France anyway. Picky, time to... Okay, well, this certainly ain't peanuts. Here's a category. Thanks for choosing us. Now you've got no choice. It hasn't been a good year for many of us, but most of all, it's been an awful year for Boeing. Remember when 2 astronauts got stuck on the ISS after flying there on the Starliner? I say to hell with rockets. So many things that can go wrong. Way too complicated. We should rely on good old proven techniques instead. Imagine Boeing announced the new Boeing Boing, a trampoline capable of literally bouncing you to space. If your first Boing comes in at exactly 1 meter, and each Boing doubles your height, how many Boings would you need to get to the ISS? 7 Boings on the Boeing Boing, 19 Boings on the Boeing Boing, 24 Boings on the Boeing Boing, or 37 Boings on the Boeing Boing. Shouldn't you be in your room playing with your plushies? Houston, you have a problem. The ISS orbits the Earth at around 400 kilometers, give or take, and doubling 1 meter 19 times gets you to 524 kilometers. So you've reached the ISS on your way to the top. Of course, there's still the issue of how to get back home, but that certainly didn't stop the Starliner either, did it? Ha! Come on, big bucks, no whammy, buzz. Introducing YDKJ. As we all know, 2024 was a leap year, and so we thought we'd do a little leap year quiz for you. Don't overthink this, hit your buzzer and type in the correct answer. Got it? Good. What was the last leap year to end in 024 before 2024? Think about it, then type it in if you know. Let's go. See, that would be correct if leap years had even existed back then, which they didn't. It really isn't that difficult once you realize one simple fact. There isn't a single pair of leap years that shares its last 3 digits with each other. None. And there won't be until 2804, exactly 1,000 years after leap years were first instated. Looking at the state of civilization, I wouldn't hold my breath. Okay, but teeny weeny brainy no understandy rhymey question. Oh, rhymey question, is that so? Well, looks like we'll be playing yeah, whoop-de-doop, it is gibberish. Wow, ooh, what a surprise. Here's the actual category for this gibberish question. Strangely Shakespearean fungi. Don't forget, I'll be taking away more and more cash the longer you take to solve this, so make it fast. Now take a look at this gibberish phrase and tell me what common adage it rhymes with. Shouteth me mold, winneth askew, and dont'st thou mindest I mean, don't mind the punctuation. It's a phrase for fresh starts. You know, start anew. For fresh starts and the abandonment of what's past. Leave it all behind you. Don't look back. Throw out the past, invite the future. Throw out the answer, invite the money. Go! Out with the old, in with the new. Or in the case of what feels like the last 10 years, out with the old, in with the exact same shit all over again. Actually scratch that whole out with the old thing in the first place. Let's just carry all of the old shit with us as well. But that one doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Okay, we need some money to play for, so why don't you buzz in and pick us some? It's time for... If at first you don't succeed, move countries. It's been a year, all right. Sometimes I wonder just where it all started going oh so wrong. Maybe those who come after us can do a better job at forging a better 2024. In fact, which of these calendars, being closest in year to the Gregorian calendar, will give its observers the first chance to redo 2024 properly? The National Indian calendar, the Chinese calendar, the Hebrew calendar, or the Iranian calendar? You know, it would be funny if it weren't so sad. Actually, it is quite funny. You ain't getting any do-overs. In the National Indian calendar, the Gregorian year 2024 translates to the year 1945. So, 2024 in their calendar is just under 80 years away. And, just in case you're playing this 80 years into the future, let us know if India knocked it out of the park. It's all up to you, go. So our time comes to an end. Take this last memento. You'll need it. A year of grand releases. These are 2024's drivers of consumption. Hope you were a good little citizen. That's all she wrote, and here's where you stand. And there you have it.
Testing? You working? Testing? Okay. Whew, we solved it. All right, very good. Anyway, this concludes this episode of You Don't Know Jack. The Rewrite 2024. If you like what you saw here, be sure to hit that thumbs up button in that video. Be sure to check out that. Leave a comment in the section below. We'll see you next time here on Tickets Please